Hello, hello, hello. Oh God, I've literally just got off a podcast being interviewed about why poverty pisses me off. I loved it. It was a great interview. I was just sharing how, there's no reason anymore for people to live in quiet desperation in the Western world, in the first world. There's no reason for people to not earn the worth. There's no reason to not have the life and business and income of our dreams anymore. There's just no reason for it because the opportunity is everywhere. It's never been a more exciting time to be alive. I'm buzzed after that interview, absolutely buzzed. And it's good because at the weekend I went out on Saturday for a baby shower Saturday afternoon. Had way too many porn star martinis. Who's tried porn star martinis? Oh my God. How have I not drunk these before? Now I've found them, there's no going back. Tea tonight though. That'll be it now for probably 6 months for me because I just never drink. Can't do it. Can't be doing with the hangovers. Oh, hey Sue. So who's here? Say hello. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're live if you're live. But let me know if you're on replay by telling me that you're on replay in the chat box as well. I always reply to everybody. And hey Caroline, how you doing? Right. We've got a lot to get through today. Fourth part and final part of the 4-part series where I've been breaking down my journey with you over the last 4 years and how, just 4 years ago I was living in a caravan on a campsite. It's not a rags to riches story, it's not a sob story. I was quite happy in that caravan. It was a real turning point for me. I felt free. I loved it. But it's funny, isn't it, how I moved in there because really I needed to free up cash to be able to invest in myself and my business, and paying a massive mortgage wasn't helping me do that. And that was just, 4 years ago of really struggling to pay my mortgage, invest in myself, invest in my business. And 4 years later, I'm running a $1 million business and have a totally different lifestyle. And that's what these last 4 weeks have been about, the exact steps that I had to take to make that happen. Because I get a lot of inbox messages, people asking, different questions that want that for themselves, and for everybody it's different reasons, but that want to build a business that gives them everything they want, not just profit wise but time wise, and might be travel for you like me. And I thought, do you know what, doing this 4-part series will capture everything, and tonight's really the climax of that because it's all about the strategy, the business strategy. If you haven't already watched 1 to 3, I would say do that first. There's going to be a drop off, and I knew this live would probably have the minimum amount of people that we've seen for a really long time on these Monday evening lives, because not everybody will have stuck to the commitment at the beginning and said they'll see it through and implement everything. And it is 4 weeks, just 4 weeks, but you'll be amazed the amount of people that don't stick to it. If you're one of those people and you've missed bits, it's not too late. It's not too late to go back, get up to date with the things you've missed, and get really serious about actioning and implementing the things that I've been sharing with you. So start by telling me who is still here. Say, I'm still here. I've been here from the start and I'm still as committed as I was on day one. Let me know. I'm here all 4 weeks. Amazing. Hey Jackie, hey Lisa, good for you. Absolutely brilliant. Let's dive in. So last week we finished where I said to you, I launched my coaching business and generated in the first 5 weeks 60k. Then went on in the first 10 months to have 100k months, and by month 12 I'd really nailed that strategy for consistent 100k months, which meant I'd got the strategy for a 7-figure business. And that's fast, right? Like, it is fast, but it wasn't overnight success really by any stretch of the imagination. Good for you, Megan. Because this was a series of things that came together over the years. And obviously I mentioned that I'd invested quite heavily into a coach as well, who I knew would help me fast track my results. So this wasn't just like overnight by accident success. Everything had been leading up to this point. So I'm going to share with you what specific business strategies and actions I had to take in order to create that level of success really quickly. See, what had to happen was I needed to pull everything together and get it right first time. And there was things throughout, you know, the things that I've shared with you, like the traditional businesses, the network marketing business that I'd run, that I knew needed to be incorporated into a plan for rapid growth and fast success. And there's 7 key stages to that I want to share with you now, that meant it was possible to build a $1 million business in a year. And I'm going to share those 7 things with you now, and the specific action that I needed to take, so that you can take from that, apply what's relevant depending on where you are in your journey. These 7 stages have become the basis of my signature program, the Women's Wealth Accelerator. We take these women across a 12-month period through these 7 stages, amazing women with amazing businesses and messages to share with the world. Some of you are on tonight, hey Claire, that's one. That, you know, need the strategy and the steps to take to make it happen. So I'm going to take you through those 7 steps, because it's the same 7 steps that I implemented to create the success I did in that first year. It's no different. I don't coach anything or teach anything that I don't do myself or haven't done myself and that I don't know works. What's the point in teaching philosophy? Do you know, there was a girl who, unethically in my mind actually, and I've never called her out by name, but she joined one of my friends' programs, and it's like a lead generation program that teaches you how to generate leads on LinkedIn. And she literally went through it, and then at the end of going through it, she repurposed all of that content, made her own LinkedIn trainer program, and then started selling the course. Not her zone of genius, not even her material, just repurposed content from someone else based on philosophy, because she hadn't. One thing she didn't have was what my friend had, which was the ability to not just know it in principle, but have worked through it, lived it, made mistakes, struggled, had to change things to get it right. She didn't have that. So when it came to teaching it, she always kind of came up against problems when her students in her course said, well, it's not working. Why isn't this not working for me? She didn't have an answer, because it wasn't really her zone of genius. No, I'm not. I think that's actually an ethical, probably a question of ethics. But when it comes to others, you know, some other people, coaches, trainers, etc., there are a lot of people out there teaching philosophy because they've studied something hard. You know, mindset coaches that have really studied the mind. Business coaches that specialise in the mindset behind business, that aren't in business, that have studied the mind. But I honestly believe, and this is my belief, that when it comes to business strategies, the big difference between a strategy, a process, a course, a program that works for people is the person leading its ability to look at someone in the eye and say, I've been there, I've been through the challenge you're going through now, I understand why it's happening, have you tried this? Because they've got the real-time experience to go with it. So what I'm about to share with you, these 7 steps, I'm sharing them with you in real time, if you like, of me experiencing them at this time, me pulling them all together and actioning them, and that's why they have become my signature program. So the 7, you're going to want to write these down. The first thing that I had to do when I decided I'm going to build this business, I'm going to bring together everything I know about business, and I'm going to coach and mentor women to help them get set up. The first thing that I had to do was establish, what do I want and who do I want to help? And if you're at the very beginning stages and you're like, I know I want to build a business, I've got multiple ideas, this is kind of the first stage that's going to speak to you, is what do I really want for me, is the first thing I needed to get clear on. Because there's no point in building a business that gives you money only or helps other people only. It's got to give you what you want for you, right? I'd already run businesses, as you know now from watching these 4 weeks, that hadn't quite hit the spot. you know, either gave me the income but not the lifestyle that I wanted, or the time that I wanted, or gave me time but the money wasn't quite there, or, you know, the element of control for me in terms of my income wasn't there and it was a bit unpredictable. There was things out of my control. I've shared all this with you. So this time round I was like, I need to think very carefully about what I want. And that's my formula for goal setting now. I call it the 3 P's of projection. 3 P's that need to be considered always. One is the purpose. Like, what's my purpose? And when I ask myself that question, like, what do I feel called to do? What is purposeful work for me? It was helping women recognise that they have $1 million business that exists inside of them already, just as they are. Just as they are. They have a unique set of skills, experiences, knowledge that can be monetised now in this age of opportunity that we find ourselves in. That they don't have to, you know, poverty just pisses me off. So, like the podcast that I've just been talking on before this today, that's what I was talking about. It pisses me off because it's not necessary in the first world anymore. It's just not necessary. And this is something that had been stirring in me for ages, and I could see how all this opportunity was out there to make money, and so many people still living in quiet desperation. I wanted to help those people create something really special that made a positive impact in the world. When I started asking myself about my purpose, that was what was coming up for me. And this took brainstorming and like sitting with it and really thinking about all my experiences, all my struggles, all of the lessons that I've been on. This is what I felt really called to do right now. The next P is the personal goals that I've got. You know, what do I want for me? What do I need to make me feel fulfilled? And I knew that it was about travelling the world. I knew that I wanted to wake up and say, let's go, and be able to do that. I knew I wanted time. I didn't want to work morning and night. Hustle, I'm not about the hustle. I've done that. I've been the entrepreneur that's wore my hustle like a badge of honour and been like the one that works the hardest, the longest, the fastest. I didn't want that anymore. I didn't want that. I wanted balance. And the final P was profit. You know, to create the life I want and serve the people I want to serve, how much profit do I need coming in every month to give me all the things that I want? And then working out that, because if you don't work out that first, how can you build a business that fits around the life that you want to create? You don't. You end up building a business that then your life has to fit around. And you can become resentful of it. And I've built businesses like that. I didn't want to do that again. And the next thing I needed to get clear of is, who can I help? Like, with the experience that I've got, with the knowledge that I now have, with the skills that I've accumulated, challenges that I've come through, who can I help with this information? What type of woman? And that's, you know, about niching down and getting really, really specific. And I say women because I felt really called to help women, because we are different to men. I'm not a man hater, I'm not even a feminist. I just wanted to help women because I am a woman and I get them. And I understand that it's an emotional journey building a business as well as a strategic one. And I wanted to help them navigate that stuff as well. So I knew it was women, and then you start to get clear on that. Now, what's the big problem that you want to solve? That was the thing. That's the golden question. If you're about to start a business online, or you're thinking about it, what's the big problem you can solve? And this is a question that I had to really sit with. And in the Women's Wealth Accelerator, we go through a series of exercises to help you really extract this information and get to know you better than you've ever known you. Because there's a unique brilliance in all of us. When I did an interview that's pinned to the top of this page, actually, if you want to check it out. It's an interview for Fox TV that was all around why I believe every woman's got $1 million business inside of them. The reason I believe that is because great businesses, $1 million businesses, just provide a solution to a problem. That's what every business does. It provides a solution to a problem. You, with the skills that you have, whoever's listening to this right now, I don't care who you are, you, if you're listening to this, you have a unique set of skills, experience, knowledge, everything that has led up to this moment today has made you who you are today, all the relationships you've had, the challenges that you've encountered. And you know stuff, and you can do stuff that provides solutions to problems for other people that might not have the same experience, that might not have been through the same challenges and come through them, that might not have the same life experience, that might not have had the same jobs and training. There is only one you, and that is your power. And it sounds cliche, but it's fucking true. And that can be nowadays monetized and turned into a business online You know, I thank my lucky stars every day for Mark Zuckerberg. I do gratitude every day as a way of life, and one of the things that I thank and give praise for every day is Mark Zuckerberg. Because he's created a platform here that I'm now talking to you on. I'm helping you through this platform. And you can do the same for other people. You can provide a solution to their problem. I don't care who you are, it's within you. Even if you don't believe it, it's there. And the first thing I had to do is, what problem can I provide a solution to? And I knew that navigating the online space for business success is a fucking minefield. And I knew because I'd been navigating it for years, in my traditional businesses, in my network marketing business, and now in this one as well. And I know there's so much information out there: sales funnels, email marketing, how to use Instagram, how to use Facebook. There's so much that it paralyses people every day, because they're like, oh, I don't know where to start. I don't know what steps to take. And I knew I could fix that for them, putting it all in one place, making it step by step, and that's what I wanted to create. Easy to understand, easy to follow, easy to execute, step by step, so we can extract this $1 million business from you. That's the solution that I provided. That's the problem I provide a solution to. And that's the first step. That was the first step for me, getting really clear on that. Don't try and be too generic. Don't try and provide loads of solutions to loads of different problems for loads of different people, because you won't stand out and you won't gain traction. The most niche businesses are the ones that create the most success, the most specific and clear ones. The second step in this 7-stage process is, how will I solve the problem? Now I know who I can help and who I want to help and what I want for my own life in the process. The next step is the creation stage. It's creating the business model and the service that we're going to offer. Do you know how many people say to me, or they'll send in an application to work with me, and they'll say things on there when I ask about their business, they'll say I'm a blogger, or I'm an influencer, or I've got an Instagram account with 30,000, 50,000, 100,000 followers, and I think that's the business. And that this is the disadvantage to the world we're living in right now, because that's not a business. A blog isn't a business. A business is providing a service or product to somebody at the end that people want, that there's a market for. And that's where step 2 comes in. Now we know kind of who we want to help and what problem we can provide a solution to, what we want for ourselves. Now we've got to put it together into a business model, offering a service that can be monetized, because a blog that we just write is just a blog. It's not a business unless there's a business strategy and something that we can offer in exchange for money. Then it becomes a business, and that's what step 2 is about. It's about creating the model. So how do I want to help people is the next question that you can ask yourself, and the question I had to ask myself in this process. How do I want to help people? How do I want to work? That was the thing, you know, I knew it needed to be online. Everything, the service needed to be delivered online, because I wasn't prepared to sacrifice the lifestyle of travel that I wanted to create. And I wasn't prepared to build a business that didn't give me everything I wanted. You can have everything you want, everything. It doesn't have to be a trade-off. And I wasn't prepared to trade off. I didn't want to become resentful of the business or the people that I worked with, so it had to be delivered online. So these are the questions that you want to ask yourself, these powerful questions like, how do I want to provide the solution to this problem? Do I want to work with people eyeball to eyeball, like face to face in a room? You might do. Do I want to work one-to-one with people, providing a service? Do I want to provide online courses, programs? There are 4 key business models. There's a creative business model where you make something and sell it, like artists or creative types. There's product-based businesses where it might be somebody else's product, like affiliate marketing or network marketing. Then there's service-based businesses where you deliver a service. So you're exchanging time for money, because you're actually taking your time to deliver a service. It could be one-to-one, it could be a website designer where you design something for it. You know, you deliver a tangible result at the end. And then there's information-based businesses, which are super scalable and super leveraged, where you can provide online courses and programs that provides a solution in the form of information where people can buy it off the shelf, access it, and get the information they need to solve the problem that they're having. So this is about kind of getting clear on what sort of business you want to be. And I knew that I wanted to deliver a service, because I love coaching and mentoring. I love being online and with the clients that are in the Wealth Accelerator, in that group environment, and brainstorming and getting through problems and working through issues and being there as that guidance and support network for people. I knew I wanted that. And I also knew that I wanted to provide something that's a lot more leveraged and scalable, because the future isn't certain, is it? If your business is totally reliant on you, all of your business is reliant on you showing up and having to deliver a service, then it makes you quite vulnerable, because you don't know at what point your circumstances might change and you might not be able to or want to be doing that work anymore. Things change, people change. So I always recommend my clients having a passive element. And nothing's truly passive, everything needs some sort of maintenance. But having an element of your business that if you needed to or wanted to, you could scale up and still make money without being present. Courses, online courses, programs have been incredible at creating that for me. You know, being able to say, do you know what, I want to add an extra 10 grand a month to my income, but I don't want to work any harder. So I'm just going to scale up the buy now option in my business, the online course program that people can get their hands on. It gives them what they need, amazing value, that provides a solution to their problem, but without me being present. I can scale it up if I want to. And that played a huge part in creating $1 million business in a year, because God, to create $1 million in a year and it all be a service that you're delivering, I don't even know if that's possible, but you'd be fucking busy, really busy. I don't know about you, but you probably don't want to just be really busy all the time. You want a life too, because business is just a slice of the pie, isn't it? So that's stage 2, establishing, you know, what business model's right for me, and then mapping it out, planning it out, and getting super clear on what needs to come together to give you everything that you want. Then we can move into branding, and this is what I needed to do next, and what I did next, and forms part of the 7 steps. Step 3 is branding. It's understanding the psychology behind branding. And this is what we teach in the Women's Wealth Accelerator, is about standing out with your brand, voice and message. Because when you know who you're here to help and the problem that you want to provide a solution for, now it's about branding yourself in a way that speaks to that person. And this is why the more niche you are, the more successful you're going to be, because brand psychology is huge. We are living in an age where it's never been easier to get noticed because the clients are in the palm of your hand, but it's also never been harder because everybody's competing for their attention. So that's why the more niche you are, the more successful you are, because if you know exactly who it is that you're here to help, then you can speak to them powerfully, but it happens unconsciously in your branding. Because we're living in this fast scrolling society where over 90% of people now are accessing online platforms on a mobile device. So it's no longer like the click of a mouse even, it's just the thumb, and it's rapid. So you've got less time than ever to stand out, create an impact and get people taking action. That's unconscious, because the conscious mind hasn't got time. How many times do you scroll through the internet and you're like, let me know in the chat box if you can relate to this. Seriously, think about this for a minute. When you were scrolling through your newsfeed recently, there were some things you stopped on, right? You paused and you read a little bit more. You may have even taken action. There were some people, some things that you just scrolled right past. And you didn't think consciously, well, I don't like that colour or font or image, and that's turned me off, because it's not conscious, it's unconscious. Let me know in the chat box if you can relate. Just say, yes, I do this. Everybody's going to do it. I challenge anybody to go, no, I don't do that. I'm conscious with everything. You're not. It's too rapid, it's too quick. Therefore, branding, and what I needed to know was that my branding was going to tap into the unconscious mind of my ideal client quickly, so they could take action quickly. That's what you need to know too. It's played a huge part in the growth being so quick. Once the brand's ready, and you know about colour psychology, image psychology, font psychology, and you know what needs to come together to mean that your ideal client's going to take action really quickly. When you know this stuff, and you can create a really powerful, visible brand, then you move into step 4. And this is where I then moved into. When that brand was created, I was now ready to show up in the world in a way that was going to get the action, provoke the action in my ideal client that I needed to provoke, to get them the change and to hit my business goals, because those two things need to be mutually beneficial constantly. You're never going to have the impact in the world that you could have if your brand isn't powerful. And then step 4 is the lead generation game isn't on point, because once the brand's created, no fucker knows about it unless you know how to market yourself. So stage 4 in this process is marketing. We've got to then get good at generating leads, at getting that brand in front of the right people at the right time. And the thing is about marketing, again, is it's never been easier and it's never been more complex because of so many options. We can use Instagram, we can use LinkedIn, we can use Facebook, we can use Facebook ads, we can use email marketing, we can use sales funnels. And there's all this stuff that's out there to aid us in getting noticed and generating leads. But it can feel like a fucking minefield. So it needs to be a strategy that's methodical. And I knew I had this one thing I had to get right. I needed my marketing strategy to be like a well-oiled machine that brought in the leads that needed to be brought in to hit the goals. And this is where I'm going to challenge you on your lead generation game right now, because it needs to be not emotional and totally numbers based. So I worked out how much money I wanted to earn. I knew that I wanted to earn 100,000 a month. That was the goal that I set out to achieve, 100 grand a month. I'd said to you that throughout these 4 years, I've kind of got to the 6 figures and been like, yeah, 6 figures, multiple 6. I'm ready for that next level 7 figure success, which means 100 grand months is where it's at for me, and that's where I was going. The first step for that was 10 grand a month. Second step was 20 grand. The third was 30, 50. And I knew where I needed to grow incrementally. But if the leads aren't coming in, you ain't got a cat in hell's chance of hitting your goal. Let's say your goal is 10k a month, and I use that because it's a really popular one. Most of the people that I speak to for the first time will say to me that's their first kind of benchmark. It's like, I want to get that 10k a month consistently. If, let's say, I'm going to just spitball figures, let's say each client for you is worth 1,000 in profit, for example, and you want £10,000 or dollars, wherever you are, months, then we know we need 10 clients per month purchasing your product or service if each client is worth 1,000 to you, right? To keep it really easy, because maths isn't my strong point. So if we know that, we also know that when you are branded in the right way and you're implementing a marketing strategy that brings in leads, we know that for every, so around 30 to 50% of people, let's say 30%, we know that 30% of people that reach out to you, because this is about people coming to you. When I teach marketing to people, I do not teach outreach. I would never say to you, message people, spammy, shitty messages, because that's the equivalent, literally, of standing on the street. If you've got a bricks and mortar business, let's say you're a hairdresser, it's the equivalent of standing on the street as that salon owner, tapping people on the shoulder and saying your hair looks shit, we can sort that out in here. It's fucking rude and it doesn't work, and it's never been done in the history of business, so why would we do it online? It just doesn't work. And it's horrible. It's not even a nice strategy to implement. Who wants to spend their time sending out messages like that? It's about getting people coming to you. So if you've got people coming to you, we know for about 30% of the people that come to you that say, can you tell me a little bit more about your product or service, or how do I work with you, or that ask you a question, that come to you seeking information, about 30% of them are going to turn into buyers. If you've got the right strategy, we know that to be true. So when looking at your figures, if we need 10 and 3 out of 10 are going to turn into buyers, then what do we need? 3, 6, 9, 12. Let's go 40 to be absolutely on the safe side. We need 40 quality leads coming to you in your business asking you for more information. It needs to be based on numbers and logic. And that's exactly what I did. I just worked out how many leads I needed every month and took the emotion out of it. Not, oh, but what if nobody buys? Oh, but what if this happens? It's just numbers. And then we work the numbers so that it's an exact recipe for success within your business. And that's what mastering lead generation and marketing is about. And that's what I needed to work out. How many leads do I need coming in every month, and know that that's going to equal 10 grand. Now, your business model is going to be different, so I'm not going to try and give you a recipe for success that tells you exactly what you need in your business, because I'd need to know more about your business to know. But it's about building a marketing strategy that's based on facts and figures and what you need to happen. That then becomes daily, weekly, monthly disciplines. So if we know we need 40 leads, what needs to happen in your business daily, weekly, monthly to bring in 40 leads? We build the plan around that, and that's what I built my plan around. Daily, weekly, monthly habits and disciplines that bring in that amount of leads. Because if they're not disciplines, if they're just like, oh, I do a bit of this one day and I do a bit of that the other day, and when I feel like it, I do a live and I do this and I do that and I kind of fly by the seat of my pants, then your leads are never predictable, so your income's never predictable, and basically your business isn't a business really. It's just you doing some stuff every now and then, but it needs to be strategized, it needs to be processed, because then you're a CEO running a legitimate business, and this is what needs to happen to bring in this amount. Build businesses like they can be sold. Not you might want to sell your business, but build it like it can be sold. So if someone picked my business up tomorrow, they would know how to make money from all the training manuals and processes that are in place. They could make money from it tomorrow. They would know what they need to do daily, weekly, monthly, like clockwork, to bring in the leads that converts into 100 grand months. That's how your business needs to be run. And that's how I ran it from day one. When the leads are coming in, step 5, you've got to be able to sell. This is a word that most people cringe at. But if the leads are coming in and you can't sell, then you're just going to end up with leads and you're not going to convert 30%, 50%, moving up to 80% when you get really good at it. You're not going to do that if you can't sell. People cringe at the words, you've got to be able to sell. I don't want to be a salesperson. It throws up a lot of stuff like a man in a suit that's trying to manipulate you. Selling can be easy and effortless, and let's face it, you're not going to help anybody unless you can sell. Because people aren't going to buy from you, and if they don't buy from you, you can't help them. So I focused on getting good at selling to the right person though. I focused on knowing how to do a sales call that helped me to understand if this is the type of person I want to work with. Are they my ideal client? Do they have the problem that I can provide a solution to? Are they going to get results from what I offer? Because these are important questions to ask. It's not just about making a sale. Because if you start working with the wrong people, you're going to very quickly exhaust yourself. And you're going to very quickly fall out of love with the process of serving these people, because they're not going to get the results you want. Selling is just much about saying no as it is about saying yes. Do you know, we have about 150 applicants for every one space that becomes available within the Wealth Accelerator, pushing up to 200. And it grows all the time. So you can imagine when we've got places, the application forms come in. Not everybody gets on a sales call, of course, because they fill in an application form, and some people are filtered out before the sales call because we know it's not a fit, and there's no point in wasting our time or theirs. But in that call, sometimes it's a fit, of course, but for some people it's not. And when it's not a fit, I'll say, it's not a fit. There's no point. We're not going to get the result you want, because it's not just about making the sale, it's about that experience. If I'm going to work with someone in that environment for 12 months, it shouldn't be painful. And it will be painful if it's not a fit. So it's about authentic selling. It's about selling with the intention of serving people. I genuinely believe if you just focus on really wanting to help and stay aligned with that mission and purpose that you've got for the people that you feel like you're here to serve, if you stay true to that, everything else falls into place. But you've still got to be able to articulate your worth and why you're the best person to help them, show them and take them on a journey to show them why your service provides a solution and why you're the best person to help them with it. You've got to be able to do that, or else your leads will just be leads. It's another key skill that needs to be mastered. And that was step 5 for me. And then step 6 and 7 was leverage and scale. You see, you're not gonna get to a big income like 7 figures without your business being scalable and ready to be leveraged. Leverage is where you can take yourself out of the situation and the business can still grow. There's loads of different ways to leverage, but you need a plan for that. It doesn't happen by accident. Scaling and leveraging it's not about getting there and going, oh, I'm maxed out. Because if you're maxed out, you're not going to be able to scale and leverage properly. I see so many women that come to me and they're like, oh God, I'm earning X amount. You know, I've hit my income goal. I'm earning 20, 30 grand a month, but I am fucked. I've got no time. I hate my business. I hate my life. I'm exhausted. I'd give all the money back to have a bit of a life back. I've started envying people in jobs because they feel like it looks like they've got a way better deal than me. I've got the money, but I've got nothing else. But the thing is, they're in this like maxed out state, so they're too busy working in the business that they can't work on the business. So then doing things to leverage, like hiring the right people, allocating budgets to reduce your workload, putting things on automation, doing all of that work that the CEO should be doing, because the CEO's role is strategic rather than doing all the technician work, you know, the tactical work. We need to be doing the strategic work. But when you're maxed out with tactical work, you don't have time for the strategic work. So you end up in this chicken and egg situation and it gets really fucking stressful. You can avoid that if you plan in the offset for the leverage and scalability of your business, and know at 10 grand a month I'm going to be maxed out, but I'm still going to have enough time to work on leveraging and taking X amount of tasks and hiring this person, and knowing the way the structure of your business needs to appear in order for it to be leveraged and scaled. Because otherwise you end up with sticking points. You know, we grew from 0 to 1 million in a year through making it fluid to scale and leverage. There can't be points where you're like, oh shit, I'm stuck now, and then you stay stuck for 6 months at a certain income and you don't leverage and scale quick enough, because you're not going to get that growth quick enough. The growth was there because we planned for it in stage 1 when we were planning out the business, and then actioned it in stage 6 and 7 when we were ready to. And we knew we're at that income goal, we're at that point in turnover, this is where we hire that person, this is where we hire that person, because it was already strategized for on day 1. And I get all this stuff can be a challenge because you don't know what you don't know. And yes, the reason I became a business coach is because I already had shit ton of experience in business, and pulling all these components together, that was what was the catalyst for the fast success. And I understand that that might not be completely possible for you, which is why the Wealth Accelerator exists. Now, I'm going to quickly whiz through these 7 steps. I don't know where you are in your journey, what stage you feel like you're at, but I'm going to whiz through them. Step 1, establishing your unique brilliance. Who you're here to help. How can you provide a solution to someone's problem? Step 2, turning that into a business model and a strategy where you plan for the growth from the offset. Step 3, knowing how to brand yourself and understanding the psychology behind that branding so you can stand out online. Step 4, getting that brand in front of people through a lead generation plan that is based on numbers, so you know how many leads you need to hit a certain income. Step 5, then know how to sell to those leads authentically, but equally say no if someone's not your ideal client. And then step 6, leveraging yourself, starting to take yourself out of the business so that you don't need to get busier as it gets bigger, and then scaling it so that you can continue to grow that business and scale and up level again and again and again, but still maintain balance in your life by being the CEO and not the chief everything officer, by working on the business, not in the business more. So listen, the Women's Wealth Accelerator obviously teaches you all of this, and this isn't where I then, sell to you. This is me just telling you that the Women's Wealth Accelerator is fully booked right now, and there is no space for new people to join. But there is going to be in the last quarter of the year. So October, November, December, the last quarter of this year, we're going to have an enrolment that could have your name on it, And I don't know suitability because I don't know who's listening to this. We'd need to check that out. But if you want 2020 to be different to how 2019 has been so far, you've got to take action in the first quarter. Some people say to me, yeah, next year. And I'm like, if next year's the year you want to smash it, then it's this year you need to start putting some of this in place. That last quarter of the year and what you do in that last quarter will determine how you start the first quarter of 2020, and therefore how you end next year. It will go like that. You've got to start taking action now. So if you think you might be ready in the last quarter to start really taking no action and putting your money where your mouth is and investing in yourself, learning these 7 steps, applying it with the support and help of me and my team, then you need to send us a message. So you can send me a message here on this page and just say to me, Michelle, I want a discovery call. Just say those words, I want a discovery call, in the inbox. Me or one of the team will come back to you and we'll ask you a couple of questions first, because we need to know suitability before we jump on that call. We can't jump on a call with everybody. The applicants are too high for us to do that. So we're going to ask you some questions, just so you know why we're asking the questions. We're going to ask you a little bit about your business that you have or want to set up, so that we can check if it might be a fit. And then if we think it might be, there'll be an offer extended to get on a call with me personally to talk about that. And all these calls will be done with me personally, because I take total control of that, because this is my signature program, it's my baby. Everybody that comes in has got to be pre-qualified by me personally, and we've got to know if it's a fit, because we're going to be together for a year, and that's a long time. And if it's just not there and we're just not vibing and it's just not right, then I'll be really honest. I'll be brutal with you on the call. And it's always said with love, because I know if I'm not the right person I can't be the right person to help everybody. What I do and how I do it isn't a fit for everybody. So we need to work that out. So you need to send me a message saying, Michelle, I want a discovery call. And then we'll take you through a couple of questions, see suitability, and then we'll get you on the diary. I don't have an infinite amount of places in this program, of course. And I don't have an infinite amount of time to have calls. So the sooner you get that message to me, the quicker it's going to be, the quicker we're going to be able to identify if it might be a fit, and then, you know, the more chance you've got of getting one of those spaces and getting in my diary. But it's not to start immediately, and I need to just stress that, you know, this is going to be the next enrolment that we've got coming up, which is going to be the last quarter. So it's going to give you some time to prepare and put yourself in a position financially as well to be able to invest in yourself. Totally transparent. MichelleStonhill.com if you want to go and check out the Wealth Accelerator and look at the prices. Just send me a message if you're serious, like really, really serious. Let's only talk about this if you're like really ready. No bullshit, no excuses. If you followed the last 4 weeks, you'll know that I lived in a fucking caravan to invest in what I needed to invest in. So if you're going to message me and say, oh, I really want to do this but I haven't got the money, I'm going to call you out on that. In fact, I might not even bother replying. After you've listened to this four-part series, if you're going to send me messages like that, it's probably not a fit. So literally it needs to be, I want a discovery call because you've thought about this and you're like, I am super ready. I am super ready for the next year to be the best year ever, and be telling my success story and inspiring other people to step up and live their best life and build their best business. I can't wait to hear from you. And that's the final part. So next week we're going to revert back to just normal soul-centered Millionaire TV, where I'll still be sharing training with you every week here, same time every week. But that's the last part of the 4-part series, how 4 years ago I was living in a caravan and starring Millionaire. Thank you so much for those of you that have been on this journey for the last 4 weeks. I'm so proud of you, and I don't mean that in a flaky way. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because if you've followed this for the last 4 weeks and you've shown up and you've took action at the end of it, I know that you'll already be seeing a difference from that. Speak to you soon.